Throughout my childhood, I've played many sports. I first started out playing QB football at the age of 5 or 6, and played that up until I turned 8 years old. It was around this time when my family and I moved to Northern Ireland, where we lived for 1 year and 2 months. I know this may seem like a strange move, but my mother was born and raised in Ireland, and so was her family. Naturally, it was important to her that we get a taste of her home and also meet all 6 of her siblings, as well as over 20 of our cousins. It was in the small town of Bangor, located on the coast of Northern Ireland, that my love for soccer was born. Soccer was my life while I was there. I played during school breaks, after school out on the fields, at night games. My obsession with soccer grew for the 14 months I was living there, and when I got back, I continued to play. What I came to realize, though, as I spent more time back in America, was that there were very few people who shared my passion for the game. So in middle school, I branched out again and played every sport I could through my school. I still focused mainly on soccer, though, and played outside of school on the club. While I was in Ireland, living and breathing nothing but soccer, I also watched my very first World Cup. Everything about the World Cup excited me. Seeing all of the world's best players compete over the span of a month in the most important tournament in the world was exhilarating stuff. Everything shut down in town for games. The World Cup had a chokehold on Bangor, and it was all anyone could talk about. Although the World Cup is arguably the single largest tournament in the world, with over 700 million people tuning in for the final game alone, it had rather humble beginnings. The first World Cup took place in Uruguay in 1930. It lasted about half a month, and there were only 13 teams in attendance. Since then, the World Cup has evolved into a whole new beast. With all of our modern-day appliances and conveniences, the World Cup can be seen anywhere by anybody. But bringing the story back to me, watching these games every day inspired me and got me revved up and ready to play. As soon as the games ended, I would jump off the couch, call up my friends, and head to the field to kick around. The World Cup changed the way I played the game. I would try to emulate my favorite players and be exactly like them. The World Cup that I watched while I was in Ireland was held in Japan. Brazil ended up taking the trophy home for a record-setting 5th time. I remember in the final game, as soon as the whistle blew, everyone went crazy because it was intense up to the last second. As the game came to a close, I was so pumped up about soccer I didn't know what to do with myself. I think that the first World Cup that I watched as a kid had a big impact on who I am as a soccer player today. The tournament gave me a new lasting love for the game, and to this day I still follow soccer closely. The World Cup only comes around every 4 years, but for the month that it's showing, little else matters.